Kia ora and welcome. This video introduces the idea of prompting and how we can use prompts to create images. As you may be aware already, generative AI is prompt-based. This means you can create content through your written input. Prompts can be natural language sentences or questions, comments, code snippets, commands, or any combination of text or code. The art of creatively defining prompts is an emerging field known as prompt design and prompt engineering. It involves the crafting of effective and efficient prompts to get the desired response. Educators and learners may need to experiment with choosing the right words, phrases, and symbols and formats to guide the model to generate high quality and relevant output. In this video, I'll introduce the idea of prompting by exploring how we can use generative AI to create images. Many AI tools can now create AI images. Some of these are standalone, like DALL-E or Microsoft's Bing Image Creator or Google's Midjourney. However, a growing number of apps now integrate AI features within their functionality, such as in Canva or Microsoft PowerPoint. A key advantage of using AI image creators is that an educator now has the ability to generate images tailored to their specific needs, saving time otherwise spent searching through extensive libraries. This approach also reduces potential copyright concerns, as you can create unique images rather than relying on existing ones that might have restrictions. That said, it can be a challenge to get the desired results when creating images through prompts, since generative AI tools can also be unpredictable. Therefore, in this video, I will quickly demonstrate how to use a simple AI tool, Magic Studio, to create an image through a prompt. I'm using Magic Studio in this demonstration as it doesn't require you to sign into these services. However, the approach I'm exploring here would work well with any AI image generator that you choose. To create an image using Magic Studio and their free version, you go to magicstudio.com AI art generator. In the dialog box, you just simply write your prompt. In this example, I want a cartoon of a university student holding a tablet in their hand. So you just write exactly what you're looking at, and then you create the picture. It's as simple as that. If you don't like it, you can refresh it. If you like it, you can download. While creating an image is relatively easy, as we saw in the example, getting it to develop something that is a little bit more precise can be difficult. If you want an image that incorporates words or is precise in terms of your output you're wanting, such as an image of a heart, it's best to use another tool to achieve this. But using generative AI prompting, we can tweak our prompts to get better results. Creating images that align with specific requirements do require a little bit of trial and error to get the best prompt. But having said that, these tools are improving all the time. In fact, new features are being developed to refine both AI and human output images. So using prompts, for example, using Microsoft Designer, you can use prompts to edit images, add filters, making adjustments like removing people from images, all through prompting. However, Miguel Rubino has provided a good template here that you see on the screen that helps us to support us to create better images. In the template, he suggests providing AI with specific descriptions, and this can include the type of image that you're looking for, even the focus that you want from the image. You can read more about this by scanning that QR code in this article. However, it's important to realize that you don't have to put all this information into your image, as you saw with our example, to get something good. But the more specifics you give, the better that it's going to align with what you're looking for. This, however, needs to be a little bit balanced with the limitations around too much detail that you put into it can actually also confuse the output. So it's a delicate balance that does require that trial and error. On the right, you see the output of the example that I got from DALL-E. So, like all generative outputs, every time you prompt, you'll get a different result. So, if I use the same prompt again now, DALL-E would provide me a different image. However, what may be likely in this image that I produce will be that it has a male subject and white, and typically with a beard. For some reason, in the eyes of AI, designers are often bearded young white men. This leads us to an important point to make about generative AI. Generative AI is trained on billions of data points. Therefore, if there are biases or trends inside the data and the training data, this will also manifest in the output. So while learning designers are not all bearded young white men, there is a significant trend towards this demographic, though there are also many with or without beards. But in fact, if you put designer, scientist, or doctor inside your prompt as a focus, it's more than likely that you'll produce a white male as your subject. This raises, therefore, an important issue around ethics and how we need to be conscious around not just the benefits of AI, but also the risks. We'll explore ethical issues and risks later in this course, but it's important that we think about this early when we're using AI. In a recent blog post by the developers of Scratch, a tool to teach young children to code, they talk about why they are not yet integrating AI art into their tool. One of the reasons for this includes the issue of bias. They're concerned that when a young child is using their tool and asks for a picture of a computer programmer, the output would be a picture of a white man, therefore reinforcing the kind of stereotypes that Scratch is trying to overcome. However, Scratch also highlights a number of other issues around image generation that have convinced them not to yet integrate it into their tool. So this includes the potential of generative AI to produce inappropriate content, such as nudity and violence images, that would be inappropriate for young audiences. But they also have wider reasons around why they're not including generative AI. And so while our example that we used in this activity is a free image creator, many AI image generators are not free, which reinforce inequality of access, where many learners wouldn't be able to afford the tools and the features of creating images if they were to integrate into the tool. Also, there is an environmental cost when it comes to image creation and using generative AI in general. Creating images and using generative AI takes considerable computer power. This is something we need to be mindful when we're using generative AI and making sure that we are using it appropriately and not overusing it. Lastly, like other text generative AI, these models are trained on millions of images, often without the consent of the artists. Therefore, using these tools can reinforce inequity and fail to give credit to the actual authors of these images and text that these AI tools are trained on. Therefore, when using AI, we need to think about the benefits and the drawbacks. Being mindful of these issues means we can take steps to mitigate and push back on the drawbacks. This can be simple in terms of just how we can redevelop our prompts to be more inclusive in terms of the images that we are producing, but also allowing us to have voice and being able to advocate for better practice around AI tools.